Hello and welcome to another playbook. This one is on a topic that is very core to being a product manager, which is deconstructing products. I'm going to talk about my favorite interview question when I interview product managers for jobs. It's a question I've been asking for almost 10 years now, and it's a question that never fails. It's one of those questions which helps me very quickly figure out if somebody has the chops to be a product manager or not. But in general, it's an incredibly important skill for all product managers to have. Product managers should be constantly deconstructing products in their heads, even if they are not noting them down, even if they are not making slides about it. They should constantly be deconstructing the products that they are working on. So let's jump in. This video is going to be divided into a few parts. We're going to talk about what essentially is a product deconstruct, right? So I'm going to take you through the question that I ask and actually give a sense to people in terms of what I want from them when I'm asking them to deconstruct a product. And then we're going to talk about building a habit of deconstructing products and how it can be useful for you as you think about product management. So, this video is actually not just for existing product managers. This video is for anyone who wants to become a product manager or who just wants to develop good instincts for being product manager. So, it's actually very helpful and useful for engineers, for product designers, for anyone essentially in the product industry to think a little bit more in depth about how products are built and why they function the way they function. So let's jump in, right? The problem statement. I always ask people to pick a product that they really love and use on a regular basis. Now, the mistake a lot of people make is when I ask them this question, they pick a product like WhatsApp because they use it on a regular basis. And I always tell them, look, do you really love WhatsApp? No. I mean, you use it. Yes, your life, part of your life runs on it. But do you really love it? And the moment you say that, hey, do you love a product? That's when things change. That's when somebody who's a foodie and who orders a lot of food from outside is like, hey, you know what? Let me change my answer to Swiggy or Zomato because I order a lot and I try out different restaurants and I really love food. Or somebody who's a personal productivity hack, who really loves sort of thinking about, building out a context brain and building out something else. We'll talk about how much they love Notion or how much they love Rome research, right? There are folks who sort of swear by the fact that they use Slack every single day at work and they really love the simplicity and sort of the functionality of Slack. So this is very important. Love. Do you really love the product and do you use it on a regular basis? Right. Second, you should feel very strongly about this product, right? So you love it, but you also feel very strongly about it. You recommend it to friends and family members. If I took a net promoter score for you, you would be a promoter. You would give this product a 9 on 10 or 10 on 10, right? This is something that you find yourself talking about. You evangelize this product to other people. And the last bit is you should have thought about the product flows a lot. So these are the three conditions I keep for any candidate that I'm speaking to. And I say, you know what, I want you to do a product deconstruct, but I want you to make sure that you love this product. You use it on a regular basis. You feel very strongly about it. You recommend it to friends and family members, and you know this product inside out. You've really thought through its product flows, and then answer the question. So now I'm going to jump into what a product deconstruct is, right? So the deconstruct. First part, what about this product works for you and why, right? Describe what works in detail. Explain why this works, right? And you might not know all the sophisticated machinery which is sort of helping that product work in the background, right? You don't know the tech that's doing all the magic under the hood. But I want to know your assessment and your assumptions here, right? So, what works and why, and what works for you, right? And when I say you, I mean think both like a user and as a product manager. Even if you're not a product manager, think like a product manager, right? So, this is the first part of a deconstruct. What about this product works and for you and why? The second part of this question is what about this product does not work for you and why not, right? So very similar to the first one, but we're talking about things which don't work well in this product. So describe what doesn't work in detail. Explain why this doesn't work, and again, your assumptions, your assessment of it. And finally, think both like a user and as a product manager, right? Now this actually covers the deconstruct. Now comes the next more interesting part of this question, which is where a lot of people falter, because somebody could come very well prepared for this answer. People usually think about product deconstructs a lot, especially at senior levels when they come in for interviews. That they're going to talk about which the products they love, and they are able to sort of very easily within 2 minutes get into the mode of like, hey, these are the five things which work, these are the three things which don't work. But the next question, the next part of it, trips them up. How would you fix this problem if you were working on the product? Now, this is where so far you have done what is common sense. If you are somebody who uses products day in and day out, even if you don't have a technology background, even if you don't have a design or a product background, you should be able to answer the commonsensical part of it. Hey, what works? Why does it work? What doesn't work? Why doesn't it work? But now I'm talking about talking to you directly as a potential product manager. How would you, if you were hired by Slack, how would you fix Slack's search problem? If you were at Notion, what would you do to make its mobile app better, right? If you were at Swiggy, how would you solve Swiggy's product flow problems? How would you make sure that you get better notifications when the delivery is on its way? Again, all examples, right? So how would you fix the problems that you have identified? Right above, you identified a bunch of problems. These are things that don't work for you. How would you fix them, right? So this sort of is where a lot of people trip up when they do deconstructs. And then we move into the strategy side of things. Bonus questions, right? How would you compete with this product? So you say that you really like Notion. Would you build a competing product against Notion? Right? What kind of product would you build? Which is the place where you would build something which is potentially 10x better than Notion, right? And this again sort of comes from both a very deep understanding of what works in a specific product and what doesn't work. And what doesn't work usually is a weakness. So could you build something which maybe takes a part of it and build something much better, right? If suppose somebody said, the answer to their question was Salesforce, that Salesforce's entire product suite is what they love, you're not going to compete against Salesforce by building Salesforce. You compete against Salesforce by taking on one product or one feature and just going at it hammer and tongs and building something 10x, 20x better, and then undercutting them in the market, right? And then one by one, you build out a suite of products, right? So this is where I sort of dig deeper into the strategy of how people think about competition. How do they think about deconstructing when it is deconstructing to figure out what doesn't work in somebody else's product? How could we take advantage of it? What is the gap there that exists in the market for users, and can we build something which is 10x better, right? And then really compete with them, put something in opposition to their product, right? So this is it. This is essentially the end state of a product deconstruct, right? What about this product works and why? What about it doesn't work and why not? And how would you fix it? And how would you build a 10x competitor? How would you build a product which can compete with this, the product that you just said? Now, let's talk about the next steps. So, this is great for an interview question. But if you are somebody who's looking at developing product instincts, you could either be an existing product manager, you could be a designer, you could be a product engineer, or you could just be a student or somebody who's interested in the world of products. You could be from marketing, from sales, it does not matter. If you love products, if you love technology and you use a lot of different products, these are the things that you should do on a day-to-day basis, right? Do this for every product you use or that comes your way, right? In the back of your mind, good product managers, the cogs, the wheels in their head are always turning. Every time they're using a product, every time they're going through a flow, they're thinking about what about this flow works, what about this flow does not work. So keep doing this, constantly deconstruct. It's a great way of using your product, doesn't use up too much of your mind. Second, dig down deeper into specific flows. One of my favorite websites for product managers is useronboard.com. And what User Onboard does is it just goes through the user onboarding flows of different products, right? They have hundreds of different products where they've gone and sort of dug deeper into what happens in the very first few screens. So after you've downloaded the app and you open the app for the first time, how do they onboard you as a user? How do they log you in? How do they show you the first screens? How do they get to that wow moment the first time you do something functional? How do they get your information? What are the kind of questions they ask you? So people have gone really, really deep into one aspect of product deconstructing, which is what happens to onboarding flows of different products and what can we learn from them, because that's usually the do or die for a lot of products, right? So dig down into specific flows. It's a great thing to do. or dig deeper into specific kinds of products. One of the all-time great websites on deconstructing products is Deconstructor of Fun, which is dedicated to the gaming world, right? They deconstruct great mobile games. They talk a lot about gaming. One of my all-time favorite deconstructs there is a Clash of Clans and a Clash Royale deconstruct, right? So go check this out if you are interested in a particular kind of product or you work in a particular industry, right? Say you want to do deconstructs of edtech products because those are products that you love using and those are products that you wish you would work on someday and build someday. Then go and do deconstructions of these edtech products, right? Um, the last one, a, a deconstruction is not complete until unless you have shared it with someone. So write a detailed document, turn it into a slide deck, create a video, whatever floats your boat. Until your learning is not complete until unless you've shared it with someone or you've taught it to someone. We share and teach others deconstruction and share our deconstructs with them because they will question your assessments, they will question your assumptions, and they will tell you what about it works and what about it doesn't work, what about your deconstruct doesn't work for them, right? And that's very, very critical. Until unless you complete this loop, and we'll probably do another playbook on sort of how we learn, but this is a very critical part of learning, which is you have to teach, you have to put out your material. What this helps you to do is also it helps you to create a portfolio, right? So take all the deconstructs that you do, and folks here on User on Board and Deconstructor of Fun have essentially created a great portfolio, very in-depth portfolio, right? Designers do this all the time on Dribble and a bunch of other websites where they put up their designs. I don't know why PMs don't put up their portfolio. PMs don't put up the things that work for them. So do this. These are the next steps for anyone. And again, the point is, this is not just for PMs. This is for anyone who calls himself or herself a product enthusiast, right? If you love products, this is what you should be doing. This is how you develop product instincts. And believe me, this is all there really is to product management. Everything else is an acquired skill. But this skill is an absolute must. If you don't love products and you are not able to break them down into their core components and figure out what about them works and why, and what about them doesn't work and why not, you will never be a successful product manager. It's a great skill to have for engineers. It's a phenomenal skill to have for designers also. So I hope you enjoyed this. And yeah, uh, looking forward to more. Looking forward to a lot of you sending in your product deconstructs, right? And what I will do is I will try and put up a few product deconstructs for everyone to give you a sense of what different deconstructs look and feel like. So take care. Bye bye.